Master?
Do as she says.
Hi guys, welcome back. The first 2 episodes of Ahsoka may have irrevocably altered the Star Wars world. Here are the most popular Star Wars speculations since Ahsoka's debut. The first 2 Ahsoka episodes are sufficient to spark various Star Wars hypotheses concerning the shows and the galaxy's future. In many respects, Ahsoka represents Star Wars Rebels Season 5, but she is also an important aspect of the Mandoverse. This precise timeline of live-action Star Wars series, which began with The Mandalorian, will conclude in Dave Filoni's unnamed Star Wars film, in which Ahsoka plays an important role. With just 2 episodes, Ahsoka has dramatically expanded the franchise by revealing the whereabouts of Grand Admiral Thrawn and introducing a new Star Wars galaxy. The fact that Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn may have been banished to a distant galaxy is one of the most significant Star Wars revelations in Ahsoka's episodes 1 and 2. While Ahsoka appears to have solved Star Wars' 6-year-old enigma, there is still a lot to learn about Thrawn and the status of the galaxy. Here are 11 Ahsoka theories that will eternally alter Star Wars. The source of Nightsister magic is Ahsoka's new galaxy. Ahsoka Morgan Elsbeth, as well as Nightsister magic. Morgan Elsbeth is a Dathomir Nightsister, according to Ahsoka. The Daughters of Dathomir were a group of witches who utilized the evil side of the Force as a magical instrument. Given the enigmatic nature of the Force, the idea of magic in Star Wars may be perplexing. However, the Nightsitter's magic was distinct from Jedi or Sith Force abilities. Ahsoka now raises the intriguing notion that Nightsister magic is from another galaxy. This would explain why the green energy of the Nightsisters differs so greatly from how the Force is described. Ahsoka's new galaxy may function very differently than the known one. Ahsoka will use the world between worlds to track down Morgan Elsbeth, Ahsoka, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Morgan Elsbeth informed Baylan Skoll and Shin that Grand Admiral Thrawn has been communicating with her beyond space and time. While this might simply be a metaphor, it implies that the Ahsoka program will deal with time travel. Time might be different in Thrawn's galaxy, making the Grand Admiral even more unpredictable. If Ahsoka is dealing with time travel, the program may witness the return of the world between worlds from Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka had already gone across time, utilizing the world between worlds, which might be the key to the heroes finding Thrawn before the villains. The Rakata rule Ahsoka's new galaxy. In Star Wars, The Old Republic, the Rakata Infinite Empire. The Rakata are an ancient species that appears in both legends and canon, although their expanded universe equivalents have a longer history in the Star Wars universe. The Rakata are claimed to be one of the galaxy's earliest humanoid races in both versions of the Star Wars canon. Furthermore, the Rakata are said to have mastered hyperdrive technology before most other species. In Legends, the Rakata employed superior technology and Force-sensitive soldiers to conquer a portion of the galaxy and even establish an empire. As the rulers of Ahsoka's second galaxy, the Rakata may potentially play a larger part in the new Star Wars canon. Ahsoka is planning 2 Star Wars films at the same time. New Jedi Order. Rey Skywalker. Ahsoka is a villain. Skoll, Baylan. Although there is no official title for Rey's forthcoming Star Wars film, it is being referred to as a New Jedi Order film. This is not the first time Star Wars has had a project called the New Jedi Order. Star Wars, The New Jedi Order, a distinct continuity of books published as part of the expanded universe between 1993 and 2003, takes place 2 decades after Return of the Jedi. The plot revolved around Luke Skywalker's fledgling Jedi Order as the galaxy faced a menace unlike anything the heroes had ever fought, the Yuuzhan Vong. Marok, Ahsoka's Inquisitor, is Darth Vader's secret apprentice Ahsoka Tano and Marok. One of the most intriguing aspects of the episode is the identity of Ahsoka's Inquisitor. This mystery Inquisitor, known only as Marok, first appeared in Ahsoka's first episode. However, nothing regarding their origins or aims was disclosed. Palpatine and Darth Vader are long gone by the time Ahsoka begins, therefore, the presence of an Inquisitor seems perplexing. Ahsoka, on the other hand, might be building up a huge revelation in which this Inquisitor turns out to be a well-known Star Wars character. In Legends, Marok might be Gale Merrick, Darth Vader's secret apprentice. Starkiller would make his live-action debut more than a decade after The Force Unleashed. The Force functions differently in the new galaxy of Star Wars. Morgan Elsbeth and Baylan Skoll are in Ahsoka, gazing at the map to Thrawn. In the first Star Wars film, Obi-Wan Kenobi provided the first explanation of what the Force is. The Force, according to Kenobi, binds the galaxy together. Star Wars might use this remark to illustrate that the Force operates differently in Ahsoka's new galaxy. There are several unsolved mysteries concerning the Force in the Star Wars universe, many of which can now be answered owing to the revelation of this new galaxy. Perhaps the Force as we've known it since 1977 is unique to the known galaxy. or perhaps the way individuals engage with it varies depending on where they are in the larger cosmos. Ahsoka will be concerned with saving the new Star Wars galaxy. End credits for Ahsoka. By presenting another galaxy that is likewise far, far away, Ahsoka breached Star Wars' oldest law. As a result, the program has opened itself up to a plethora of new options. Every canon Star Wars adventure, from the core worlds to the unknown regions, has taken place in the same galaxy since the first film. Ahsoka can deviate from this tradition by setting the majority of its tale in a separate galaxy. Instead of Grand Admiral Thrawn returning to rule the known Star Wars galaxy, Ahsoka could see the heroes searching for Thrawn in an uncharted region of the cosmos. The Prime Jedi emblem will be linked to Ahsoka's new galaxy. The new galaxy alluded to in Ahsoka is ideal for new villains, animals, and even Force abilities. It might, however, help Star Wars explain the origins of the Force. The film Dawn of the Jedi, directed by James Mangold, will tell the story of how the Force was discovered and how it became the foundation of the Jedi faith. Mangold's Star Wars picture does not appear to explain how the Force came to be, which is something Star Wars may never explain. Even so, Ahsoka may be implying that well-known features of the Star Wars world, such as Force-sensitive beings, originated in a distant galaxy. Palpatine felt something awaited him in the unknown regions, according to Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy, a canon book series set between Return of the Jedi and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Palpatine had no idea what that was, but one possibility he contemplated was that the origin of the Force was summoning him. This explains Emperor Palpatine's fascination with the unknown regions, which drove him to hire Kis Thrawn. Ahsoka may investigate a similar theory, showing that the Force's origins extend beyond the known Star Wars galaxy. Luke Skywalker will not take part in the battle against Thrawn. Luke Skywalker and Thrawn's Ahsoka theory, Grand Admiral Thrawn's return, according to Ahsoka Tano, would spell war. Thrawn, being the most talented of the Imperial Grand Admirals, would pose a significant danger to the heroes under any circumstances. Thrawn is considerably more deadly than ever after spending time in another galaxy. Grand Admiral Thrawn's reappearance would be a high-stakes situation that would unavoidably include Luke Skywalker, as it did in Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire. However, Ahsoka is not the narrative of Luke Skywalker or any of the other protagonists from the original trilogy. Similarly, the Mandalorian film already has a slew of possible characters. Star Wars will have to adequately explain Luke Skywalker's and the original trilogy heroes' absences in order to depict an epic-scale narrative set shortly after Return of the Jedi. Simply demonstrating that Luke was preoccupied or that Leia was in another part of the galaxy would not suffice. Fortunately, Ahsoka's new galaxy provides the ideal solution to the Luke Skywalker conundrum from Star Wars. If Ahsoka's mission is to defeat Thrawn in another galaxy, the absence of people like Luke and Leia is no longer an issue. Ahsoka, as well as the Mandalorian, might take place in a different part of the Star Wars universe. The plan of Grand Admiral Thrawn has nothing to do with Palpatine's return. Grand Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and Emperor Palpatine. Grand Admiral Thrawn was mentioned in the Mandalorian Season 3 episode when the Imperial Shadow Council was introduced. While this council of surviving Imperial warlords was informed of the Grand Admiral's return, Thrawn's agenda seemed to go well beyond restoring the Empire. Thrawn was not a Sith loyalist or a blind believer in the Empire, quite the opposite. Mithrandir Yuoto joined the Empire under favorable circumstances and with his own agenda. Palpatine dispatched Thrawn to Peridea. Star Wars Palpatine and Thrawn Ahsoka takes place at least 9 years after the disappearances of Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger. The Purgil, the space whales called by Ezra Bridger in the Star Wars Rebels finale, might have transported Ezra and Thrawn anywhere in the galaxy, or possibly beyond. Ahsoka now tells us that Thrawn visited a land known as Peridea, which many thought was only a fable. It is unknown what Peridea is, however. It is not in the main Star Wars galaxy. It's natural to think Thrawn has been in Peridea for a decade or more, but this isn't always the case. Grand Admiral Thrawn, a brilliant strategist, would have found a way home eventually, even under the most difficult conditions. Thrawn may still have reported back to Emperor Palpatine if he managed to return to the known galaxy within 4 years. Thrawn would be living proof that Peridea is more than a myth and that the cosmos is considerably larger than everyone thought. Palpatine's final task to Thrawn before the Emperor's death might have been to return to Peridea and conquer this other galaxy for him. This would effectively make Thrawn the heir to the Empire, as Ahsoka put it. Thanks for watching.